going to two embargoes, 10:30 tonight and 10:30 Saturday. So if we're all ready, cameras ready at the back. All good. We'll kick off with Jeremy from Sky.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Just on the team news, Saka came off against United. Is he okay to start in this game on Sunday?
Yeah, hopefully he will be fine. He had some issues in the final part of the game, but he's recovered well, and we expect him to be fine.
Is everyone else okay? We've seen pictures of Partey back on a treadmill.
Yeah.
It seems like he's progressing quite nicely. When's he going to be back in contention?
He's progressing, but he had a significant injury, a recurrent injury as well. So we don't expect him to make progress that quickly to see him this season. But hopefully I am wrong.
Tommy Asu also got on the pitch, didn't he, against United the final few minutes. You've got a decision to make, haven't you, about whether he comes back into the starting 11. I mean, is he ready to start too now, do you think?
Well, you only know that when a player has been a long spell, when you put him on the pitch, and he hasn't started any matches yet, and he's lacked a little bit of time on the pitch, so it's a decision that we will make tomorrow.
So what about this match? 5 games to go, you're 2 points clear of Spurs. Is it a 2-horse race now for the top 4?
I don't think so. I think they're going to be still twists and turns. We all have difficult matches to play. We all know how difficult it is to win the games in the Premier League, and now we had 2 really good results that are putting again in a really good position, but it's again about doing it again with them.
How big would 3 consecutive wins though be at this stage of the season?
I think in the league, when you are able to win consecutively away and at home, it gives you a huge platform, and things quickly change. So we have some momentum now, and we want to make the most out of it.
Obviously, you saw West Ham in action in Europe last night. They're in between Europa League semi-finals. How much is this an advantage to you on Sunday, do you think? They've
been doing that all season, and they've been really good in both competitions. They have a big squad as well. They have many different options to change the play and still maintain the level. So I don't see that. We have played games Wednesday night and Saturday 12:30. We have managed to beat them, so I don't think about that.
The game at West Ham last year was spectacular. You were saying afterwards it would give you nightmares, the 3-3 draw. But how much do you think Arsenal have improved since that game with West Ham last season?
Hopefully a lot, especially what we did in the first 20-30 minutes of that game, that we put ourselves in a really difficult position. It's true that we reacted phenomenally well, but obviously we want to start the game in a different way.
Just 2 more. We've been speaking to Granit Xhaka, who's been telling us how good a mental place he's in at the moment. What would you put down his renaissance at Arsenal to this season, Mikel?
Things that are happening in his life, in his private life. He's a father now. He's been through a lot. He's been through difficult moments here. He's found, I think, a lot of support internally to deal with certain situations. His character, the way he approaches problems, how he's willing to change things, to improve constantly, to become a better person, a better player, and credit to him for what he's done.
And just finally, on Jurgen Klopp's new contract at Liverpool, it's good news for Liverpool fans, but is it good news for the other teams, do you think, at the top of the Premier League trying to...
We have enough deciding what is right for us, so whatever the other teams do, I'm assuming that they are doing to keep being at the best level, and Jurgen has shown what he's done for that club in the last 6 years.
Thank you.
Roger from Premier League.
Hi, Mikel. First of all, you said it's not a 2-horse race between yourself and Spurs, but you 2 are vying for that 4th spot. Looking at the way the fixtures pan out over the next 5 games, Spurs, I think, are playing before you in a few of those. Does that have any bearing, the way the fixtures fall? Is there a benefit to you that they played first, or a benefit to them?
I think nobody knows about that. So last time they played before us and we didn't take that advantage. It's gone the other way around as well. So I don't know. We can just focus in what we can do.
Would it be a benefit if you saw that they had lost? Does that give something to your team going out there knowing that you can capitalise on it?
If we win, yes. And that's the best thing. If they lose and we win, obviously we are 1 game less in a much stronger position.
You mentioned before about West Ham. They are in between their 2 semi-final legs. But we're seeing their results have perhaps dropped off in the last couple of months or so. Are they finding out now how difficult it is to go deep into European competition and maintain a challenge in the Premier League?
It is very demanding, but you watch yesterday's game and the chances that they created and the chances that they missed, the result could have been very, very different. So I don't think it's a performance issue. And of course, it is demanding when you're playing 3 times a week.
From your point of view, you haven't had that distraction of Europe, and I know there was a lot of upset around Arsenal when they didn't qualify for Europe last season, but looking at it now, would you say you've benefited from being able to work with your squad now? Have they benefited from
It's what we had, and what we said is we're going to try to make the most out of it and try to play it in our favour, and try to take advantages from that situation.
And with just these 5 games to go, and your squad has risen to challenges so far this season, now it's coming down to the crunch. Is this a new experience, a learning experience for a lot of them now that they've got to get these results when it really, really matters? There's something riding on it.
For most of them it is, but it's been like this for the last 2 or 3 months where everybody's talking about it and they can feel the importance of every match. But this is what we want, get to April and May and things to play for.
Thank you.
Thank you.
George from the BBC.
Mikel, hello. I just wondered, this time last season, I think you were sort of 9th, 49 points. The journey that Arsenal have been on since then, just how much is a different place as the club now from what it was 12 months ago? What's changed so much? Or have you just got better players than you had 12 months ago?
We have very different players, very different squad. I think we have a very different environment. I think the unity that exists right now between the team, the staff, our supporters, and externally is completely different, and is very, very beneficial for the team. And obviously the team has evolved. The team is understanding of what we want to do is much better. The execution of it is much better. The consistent results is better. And what we are trying to do is seek for improvements every single day. And probably what we did a year ago is what you see now.
Do you think you're probably a better manager, possibly, than you were 12 months ago?
I hope I am, and worse than tomorrow. This is my aim every day.
When you look back to that summer, you had a plan. Do you know your plan already with the top people at the club about what you want and what you want from new players potentially in the summer?
Yes.
You've identified talents already, potentially, and that's regardless of where you finish in the Champions League, possibly?
It's not that easy as that, but the plan is very clear.
Okay, and just one, does that plan involve Hector Bellerin, or do you expect him to leave in the summer?
Any player with a contractual obligation with us, both ways, is our player and is considered as our player. So every plan is considering that possibility exists and how they could fit in our team.
Ian Thompson.
Hi, Mikel, you well?
Very good.
I mean, obviously West Ham are expected to rest a lot of their first-choice players for their game on Sunday, and probably Leicester will do the same at Spurs. So, I mean, do you see any problems with either manager Brendan Rodgers or David Moyes doing that when you two are both fighting for top 4?
It's their decision how they manage the squad, how they get the best of their squad, and how closely they think they are of reaching something that they have to prioritize. So you have to respect that decision.
How difficult is it to plan for a game against a team that might put out a much changed or weakened team?
We are guessing here. We don't know. We don't know what they think. We don't know what they think is better to prepare the match. So all we are doing is prepare the game the normal way, and obviously knowing that it could vary and there could be some options there.
One of your stars this season has been Bukayo Saka, and he's shown quite a lot of mental fortitude, hasn't he? Because he's now scored some penalties for you as well, and off the back of what happened last summer. Can you just explain the conversations you may have had with him and how you've maybe brought him on from the place he was in when he came back here from the Euros to the person he is now?
The first 2 conversations that I had, it was straight after the incident, but I must say that Gareth Southgate was really helpful as well, because he had Bukayo in his hands on that moment, and they were really caring, really supportive of him. So by the time he joined us, he was already in a really good place, and obviously what he got is all the support and love and help in any way that he needed it to overcome that situation. And then it's down to he and his family and the people around him that I think they were very important as well.
Because we all, obviously the World Cup coming up in 6 months, we all marvel at how the England team right now is full of good young players. You've got a whole load of them here: Ramsdale, White, Smith Rowe, Saka. But with them being young also comes the fact that there's a lot of pressure on them.
Yes, but I think they are doing it in their clubs, and I think that's really, really important. So again, the step of demands is not that high. They are already key and important players in their own clubs. so they are used to that pressure. The international level, it's something very different, but I think they have the maturity and they have the capacity to sustain that level under pressure because they're doing it every week in the clubs.
And last one, I know that managers only take every game as it comes, so you're really only looking at the West Ham game, and beyond that maybe the North London derby. But the last game of the season could be very interesting. You might need to win it to finish fourth, and a club you know well and love well, Everton, might need to win it to stay in the Premier League. Will that be a real tug on the heartstrings, because they're currently in the bottom three right now?
As you said, Ian, the managers only look for the next match.
Give me an idea, come on. Play the game.
You already answered your own question.
Okay, last couple in the broadcast now. We'll go to Art from the Athletic.
Hi, Mikel.
Hello.
On Tomiyasu, I think throughout the season, one thing that's been quite unique about him is how he uses his left foot to break press. I was just wondering how beneficial is that for you as a manager, and did you expect that from him when he came in?
Well, when we follow the player and we identify him as one of the candidates, obviously it was something that I came across, and it gives you a lot of solution, not only because from the right position he can use both feet, but he can play right centre back, left centre back, he can play left back, so that gives you enormous variability, and it's the way they've been raised and coached since a really young age. That's what he says. So for him, left and right is the same.
Did you have a conversation with him about that then, when he came in and you realised that?
Yes, I asked him, so how you been coached, because it's always very interesting things that we can take on board and implement in our club when you see that is such a beneficial thing. So it's good to understand other cultures and other ways of coaching.
And finally in the broadcast, we'll go to Simon from the Standard.
And Mikel, obviously what happened last summer with Picard, most people didn't think we'd be in this situation, but is he now your penalty taker for Arsenal?
Tomorrow, if someone has to take a penalty, I think he would take it again. But it happened quite naturally on the Chelsea game. He took it, and the next game we had another one, and hopefully he can continue to put the ball in the net.
Thanks, Simon. Thanks, everyone. Farewell to everyone on Zoom. That finishes the broadcast section. So we'll now